Hello everybody, and welcome to episode 43 of This Old Knit. I am your host, Nina, otherwise known as Ine on Ravelry, Instagram, and Pinterest, and you can find show notes for this podcast at the This Old Knit group on Ravelry. So it's been about 2 weeks since I podcast, and I'm sorry that seems to be becoming the norm for my recording schedule. That is not what my intention is, but that's just kind of what life is letting me do at this point. So that's okay. I'm going to take it how it comes, and I think, you will all be fine with that, right? So I am here in the Nook, and it's about 4:30 on a Saturday. It is Saturday, March 12th, 2016, and I have my phone right here, which is why I'm looking at it, because I don't know what day it is most of the time. But I got a chance to record, so my husband and son had actually gone for a bike ride together. Megwin is too big to fit in the bike trailer anymore, so she stayed with me, but they're already home because I had to get things set up, and then she wanted to paint nails, so we painted nails. But I had to wait for mine to dry before I touched my knitting because I don't want to get stuff on my knitting. So anyway, hopefully I will keep the light. Tomorrow is daylight savings time for us here in the United States, so we will spring forward 1 hour, and it will start to become light for longer during the day. It will stay light later into the evening, and it kind of just shifts everything forward, so it'll be dark when I wake up for a little while. I'm gonna grab my coffee. Oh, and I'm gonna spill it everywhere. Dang it. Outtake. It's the only bad thing about the Nook is there's not really a good place to put one's beverage. So anyway, I have had a good couple of weeks. I got some just normal life stuff taken care of. Had a little bit of a lull with work stuff. Not necessarily that I didn't have a lot to do, but I just had a break where I wasn't having to work kind of later hours. That's probably coming to an end at this point, which is okay. I'm just happy that I was able to get my hair cut, which I hadn't had done in almost a year, and got my car fixed because it was driving really weird. It was like the steering wheel was shaking, and I heard a vibrating sound when I was on the highway, and it was just hard to maintain control of it, so I had to get the front end realigned. One of my tires was actually separating from the inside part. I thought I'd start with acquisitions. So I got several gift patterns over the last 2 weeks, which was so sweet of everyone to give them to me, and so I wanted to share those with you. So the first one that I got was from Kristen of the Yarngasm podcast, who's Voolenvine on Ravelry, and she gifted me her new shawl pattern, Voolenvine. And it's a lace shawl pattern. That one is a little bit harder to see the patterning on, so I will do this one. And you can check it out on Ravelry, obviously, as well. I'm sorry, it's a little bit loud. There's motorcyclists and stuff because I have the windows open. So I was super excited about this because I was going to purchase this pattern anyway because I already have the perfect yarn for it. So this yarn I've had in my stash for a while. Megwin, don't bump the table.
Sorry.
What are you doing?
I'm over here.
Okay. Alright.
I just want to say hi to everyone.
Okay. So it is Malabrigo sock yarn in the
Malabrigo soft? It's soft.
Yeah, it is soft. So it's in the Candombe colorway. which is like a kind of dance. So it has a lot of colors, but they're all very muted, and it's kind of these darker colors. So there's like this navy blue, olivey green, a bit of purpley brown, and kind of some hints of purple there. But they're all very well blended together, so I think that it will still work in this shawl. And it just reminds me of like deep ocean colors, and I really have been waiting for just the right thing. This is one of those skeins that I saw in the local yarn store and literally just like stopped in my tracks and had to have it. So that is what is going to be my Voolenvine, and I will probably wind this up and cast it on this weekend. I'm trying to free up some needles for doing a new shawl. So that was my first gift pattern. And then the very sweet Disa from Disa's Craftworks gifted me the Shawl of Destiny pattern, because she said she also has it in her queue, and we were thinking about knitting them together. So this one, I would like to do it in like a gray color for the main part of the shawl, and then have different colors of Spun Chloe Fine to make a rainbow going, you know, for each of these contrast stripes. I think that'd be really cool. So it's got kind of the patterning in the main color part, and then the contrasting color part is just garter stitch. So that one I already know what I'm going to use, and I might even have the, it's too far down. I have some Madeline Tosh sock in Steamer Trunk Gray that I was going to use for that main color, and I already have all the Spun Chloe Fine, so that is perfect. And then a very sweet viewer who, I don't know if she wants me to share or not, but she gifted me a few patterns as well. So this is the Sugar Maple Tea, which, if you recall from an earlier episode, I bought a paint box gradient set from Fiber Optic at the last wool gathering in September, and it was to knit this tea, and it's in the Aqua to Chocolate colorway. So I'm definitely going to be doing that for spring/summer. I think this will be a really great top for that, and I need to teach myself how to do Russian joining so I don't have a million ends to weave in. And then the last one from that
here.
Okay, from the same viewer, she also gifted me the Canopy shawl pattern from Mandarins, the Bee Mandarins podcast, which I've never checked out her podcast before, but I do like her shawl aesthetic. Yes, Michael? You like pterodactyls? Okay. I like pterodactyls too. They're pretty cool. Nice. So this one, I don't know what I'm going to make it in. I think it calls for a sport weight. It does. And I do have a, wait, my coffee is over there. Please be careful.
I just like this.
Okay. I do have a sport weight yarn that I had bought originally for the Windswept shawl by Molly of a Homespun House, but I never ended up knitting it, so I'll get to it eventually, but it's like cream with sparkles, so I might do this one in that, and then find something different for Molly's shawl pattern. So those are all my patterns. And then I received a package from Lovesock Wool, Sarah of the Lovesock Wool podcast. She and I are doing a swap, and I have her package almost ready to go, but I just needed to get a few little extras to include with it. I know what yarn I'm going to put in there. So she gave me a skein of the Woolen Rabbit, which I've never tried before. It is their Opal base, which is a sport weight yarn. It says light sport weight, so it's actually kind of closer to a fingering maybe. It's 415 yards, and it's 75% merino, 15% silk, 10% cashmere. It does not have a colorway listed, but it's sort of this caramely brown color. It reminds me a lot of the glazed pecan color of Madeleine Tosh, if you've seen that color before. Very similar. So I love it. It's very, very pretty. And actually, that might be enough for the canopy shawl. Let me see. It calls for 440 meters, 480 yards. So no, it's not enough. But I have enough with the cream. So that's fine. It will be something else. I was thinking maybe a hat. Or a very, very nice cowl. It would be a great cowl. So, so soft. And it's pretty. What'd you do with that card, Megs?
What's in there?
Where?
Here.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to show it off.
Okay. And then, probably safe to show this now. I got the No Makers Rando Mini Skein Club installment. Don't pull that out yet. I want to show it all together. Excuse me.
What are those other knives and forks and
Careful.
spoons?
Okay, it's just supposed to be, it's a joke. So she wrapped it up like this, and it is called Ode to Breakfast.
Kind of like a nap.
Yeah, it's like a little napkin.
Yeah, a napkin.
And it's called Ode to Breakfast. That means like a song or a poem about breakfast.
Oh, to breakfast. Oh, to
And then all of the colorways are like parts bacon.
They're fluffy.
Yes, they are fluffy. This one is the Western omelet.
Ooh, it's pretty.
Doesn't it look like eggs with cheese in them? This one is
Could I
toast
look at the video?
with jam. No, because I had the camera set up in a specific way, sweetie. This one is fruitarian.
Well, couldn't I just hold it up at you?
No, because you will shake the camera. It's on a tripod for a reason. And this one is coffee, coffee, coffee. And it is in
Coffee,
her...
coffee, coffee?
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's
That's
a Gilmore
a lot.
Girls reference.
And it's pretty and soft.
Yeah, it's in her new base that's called
Can I hold this
Spiffy Gnome, which I think has silk in it. Yes, now you can take the knife and stuff out.
That's pretty.
It's just plastic. Just a set of plastic silverware. So yeah, very fun. I love mini skeins for my Rando Mini first installment of 2016. Very, very excited. And I've been getting more into my beekeeper's quilt, so I'm excited to have some new minis for that. And then, oh, I'm sorry, I'm skipping around. I also got a very, very lovely bag of minis from Sarah, which I have not opened yet. I kept them all together. So there's some Knit Picks Tweed in there, some Lorna's Laces, some of Molly's yarn, a Homespun House Olsen base, Sunshine Yarns, White Birch Fiber Arts, which I've never tried, Knit Pick Stroll, Osterman Step, No Makers, and Sleep Season.
Peep.
Last thing, I'm going to have Megan hold up this card because I just got it yesterday.
Oh, don't forget to show me off.
Hold up the card first. Okay. So, spoiler alert.
She's trying to smack the cards back to the people so they can get them. I think.
Yeah, spoiler alert. This is the Gorey Details.
Whisper it to me and I'll read it.
No. I'm not talking about the card, sweetie. It's the Gorey Details Mystery Club. Sorry, Sock Yarn Club from Voolenvine Yarns. So I got mine yesterday, so there's probably some people who have not gotten theirs yet. But Kristen included an Edward Gorey postcard, so I'm holding this up. So when this goes away, we're going to show the yarn. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Here it is.
Let's see them together.
Isn't that pretty?
They're pretty together.
Yeah.
And these are fluffy.
Don't tinkle too much because it's very plasticky sounding on the camera. So we'll take it out.
And I'll feel it.
Megan won't feel it and show it off.
And it is fluffy and very pretty. It's blue. It's dark blue, light blue, and very green.
Mm-hmm. And speckly. Very nice.
Yes, and you could knit a very good sweater with it. You could wear it in the summer and the winter.
I think it would only make a sweater for you, sweetie. It certainly wouldn't be enough for a sweater for me. But that's
It
that.
would be enough for Wubby.
It definitely would be enough for Wubby, that's true.
Wubby is smaller
Because
than
he
me.
is small. He's just a little guy.
He's
Okay.
a toddler.
So that is all of the
Much bigger
things.
than a baby.
Yeah, okay. Alright, that's all the things that I acquired.
Mine.
My daughter Megwin. I created her
In
6
her
years
tummy.
ago
In her tummy.
in my tummy.
But she couldn't do it alone. Daddy had to help her and they had to share DNA.
That's true.
That's the only way she could develop it.
That's right. You can't develop alone. You need a
Nope.
mommy and a daddy to help you.
Yep, if you didn't have a daddy, then you wouldn't be able to
You wouldn't have enough chromosomes.
Then you wouldn't be able to develop a baby even if you wanted.
That's right. Alright, sweeties. The gluttony continues. I do have something else to show. It is not knitting related though. So I also do cross stitch, as you guys know. I don't get a chance to do it as often as I do knitting, just because it just requires more setup, you know? It usually requires that you take the time to go and, I don't know, get all of your threads out, get your material out. You gotta have scissors, all things that are very attractive to a toddler. So, yeah, it just doesn't work out too great. I was wondering why this stuck on there, but it's because there's a little pack of needles. How sweet. So I bought the kit for the Will You Be My Neighbor, which was a pattern that was released for the Stitches West Fiber Festival by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. What? Their card, the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, and on the back they've got a little pattern for you. It's a little cupcake. Very sweet. So I ordered the kit, so it comes with all of the threads to stitch it up, and then it also has this really pretty shell pink Picture This Plus linen, and it has sparkle. I don't know if you can see the sparkle. And then I also got this super adorable limited edition needle minder, which is magnetic. So you just stick it on your material and you can put your needle on there when you're not working on it or when you're switching threads or whatever. So it has a magnet on the back and then one inside of the wood, and then you kind of bloop, stick them together. So it's a super cute little sheep with a tiny jack. That's the name of their little jack-o'-lantern on there. So I just couldn't resist it. Super cute. So I don't know when I'll get to this kit, but it was a limited edition one, so I went ahead and got it. And it'll eventually hang in my craft room / office, which I will probably have in my next house. Here I share the playroom with the children, but that's okay. The next house I will have a craft room office of my very own. That is truly the last thing that I got over the last 2 weeks. I've gotten a lot of stuff. That's okay. I actually bought the 2 clubs a couple months ago, but they just started shipping them out, obviously. So I got my first shipments together. Alright, so now to the knitting, which I don't have that much of because I've been very one project-y the last 2 weeks because I wanted to get it done. So it's probably good I had other filler material because I don't have a ton to show you. I've been very monogamous in my knitting. So here is my Across the Pond shawl. It is knit in No Makers House Gnome from a doppelganger set. This is the Berry No Me colorway, and I am done with this section. I am so over the moon about it. I'm very excited that I am finally done with the textured stitch section, and I can start the lace. So this thing is going to be huge. Like, look how bunched up it is on my needles. It's going to be gigantic. I made the larger size, so it's going to be really big, which is great. That's exactly what I want. And my intention was just to wear it with exactly like these colors, or with a white shirt. I could even do like this pale blue color. I also have sort of this maroon color, so long story short, it matches all of my wardrobe. So yeah, now I get to cut the yarn. I have this much left. I guess this is maybe 15 grams of yarn roughly left, so it should be enough for a couple mini skeins for friends, and then one for me to knit a few hexie puffs. So yeah, perfect. And then I'm gonna start on the lace section, which I do have that color in here. Oops, it's tangled up because I have a lot of needles in this bag also. There's my plain color. It's called Just Plum. Last time I said something about, I don't know, grape or something like that, I was totally wrong. It's just plum. So that is what my contrasting color will be for the lace, and I'm really excited to be starting with that. It's going to be very pretty. I get a lot of compliments on my other No Makers shawl also. So that's that. And then I knit just a little bit on these socks. These are in wool silk lace sock yarn, and there's actually a knot coming up. So that's why I stopped, because when I was knitting on them, I was at lunch with some friends and I did not have scissors with me, and I didn't want to knit all the way up to the knot. So this is about as far as I could go and have a good tail to work in. So what I've done on these, I've kind of realized that my gauge has really changed in stockinette. So my socks are a little bit too loose. I mentioned it before with the Regia socks, that I was like, I didn't know if I needed to change to 60 stitches or use smaller needles or what I wanted to do. So what I've done with these, and this is why I have a stitch marker there, is I left the part I had knit already in the 2.75s alone. So I knit, you know, to this little teapot stitch marker with 2.75s, and this is on 64 stitches. And then I switched to, I believe, 2.25s. Yes, 2.25s. And I'm going to knit the rest of the sock in 2.25s. So my intention right now is that I'm going to make these be long socks. I'll have them be, you know, going all the way up my calf. Not necessarily knee socks, but definitely all the way up on the beefiest part of my calf, if you will, like up to there, maybe. So leaving that bigger part up at the top will let them have the stretch they need to go up higher on my leg, and I've already verified that they will. And then this part will hug the lower part of my leg and going on. And then I don't know, going forward, I don't know whether I'm going to stick with using 2.25s or adjust my stitch count. I haven't decided yet. I also have 2.5s, so that might be the happy medium. I'm going to have to play around with it and figure it out, but I definitely feel the denser fabric right here. It's a huge difference. Like, it's so much softer up here than it is down here. So I don't know that I want to sacrifice the softness of the knitting just to be able to keep the same stitch count. So I don't know what I'm going to do. But that is that. Okay. There's like some child going, oh. We're very near the park, so lots of times you can hear kids playing and doing silly things. And then I have one other whip, which I think I've worked on a tiny bit. I'm trying to get it out of here without ripping everything apart. I'm pretty sure I've worked on this just a little bit since the last episode. This is my Because I Love You wrap, and I'm doing it in Voolenvine Yarns Deck the Halls colorway, and then a skein of Handmaiden Casbah here. I have no idea what color of green this is. It's just been too long at this point. I think I do have a Ravelry stash page for it, so it's probably in there. And I'm just about finished with the picot edge, I think, to then get to the part where you use both yarns concurrently. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I'm on the part where now I join the second color. Fun little spiral shape, and I really, really like it. So this is the next thing that I'm going to be working on when I finish the Across the Pond shawl, which I should be done with relatively soon. I might finish the lace this weekend. I don't know. Depends on how much knitting time I get. Joshua's also sick, so he's actually been napping a lot on me, which is sort of annoying if you need to go to the bathroom or eat or get a drink, but otherwise it's very nice as far as knitting time goes to have cuddly, sleepy baby. So yeah, we'll see how quickly the lace goes. The body of the shawl I feel like went very, very quickly, relatively speaking. And then I worked a tiny bit on my blanket, just this much. Not very much. This is a 10-stitch blanket by Frankie Brown. And I'm actually going to put it on my lap because it's starting to get a little chilly up here. Because like I said, I have the windows open. So as you guys know, that's just my, knit a little bit on it project when I'm kind of hanging out. And then the last thing I did is I did do some cross stitch this week. I did it last weekend actually. So I'm working on the Once Upon a Time sampler by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery also. I am almost done with this sucker, and it has been a labor of love for sure. It is huge and complicated. It's not that complicated. Mostly that it just has a lot of different pieces to it. And it was released as a modular pattern, so each month we got a little thing. It was for the year of 2014, and then 2015 kind of exploded on me. So I was keeping up, and then about April, I think, was when I just kind of fell off. Oh, no, I was up through June. I was on track because I got this the year that I was pregnant with and had Joshua. So then I was on maternity leave May, June, and the beginning of July. And then, yeah, after that, I didn't keep up anymore. So here we are, the beginning of 2016, and I don't have it done yet. So I'm getting closer though. So here is the last square, and it is themed with fairy tales. I've shown it on previous episodes, but this square is the Hansel and Gretel square, and I did their faces, I did their hair, I did some of the white on the house, the white started here on the fence, I did the piece of toast, which you can't really see, but Once I do the outline of it, you'll be able to see it better. And then there's a little trail of breadcrumbs there. I think I'm going to have to backstitch those though, because of the parchmenty color of the fabric. You really can't see them very well. But I think if I outline them, they'll be fine. So I do not have a lot left. My needle minder I'm using right now is from Tangerine Designs. It's a little fox. And I love it. She has great stuff, so definitely go check out her Etsy shop if you have not. And yeah, now I'll have this one and my sheepy one to switch back and forth between. Or if I have two projects going, which I probably will, then I could have one on each one. I want to start one of my fiber related ones next. I can't decide between the Fibery Friends sampler and the Will You Be My Neighbor that I just bought, because they're both a little bit smaller than this, obviously. I think the Will You Be My Neighbor will be a nice quick pattern, so I might do that one just to give myself a quick win. And then the Fibery Friends one is also super cute. What?
Did you hear anyone whisper at me?
Nope. And that, my friends, is everything that I have to show you. So I drew the winners for the No Makers Cow, and thank you everybody who participated. I sent out all of the prizes except for the prize package for Disa from Disa's Craftworks. She won the bag, and I'm going to combine it with a little gift for her. So I need to get some American candy. So hers is the one I have not sent out, but all the other winners I've been in contact with. I've sent out all the packages, and hopefully they've received them. The gift certificate, just have to contact Amanda and tell her that person is ready to receive it. But otherwise, all done with those, so I feel very proud of myself that I got them out so quickly. And the Voolenvine Cal is what's going on right now. So for the months of March and April, you can either knit with Voolenvine Yarns or knit one of Kristen's patterns, since she's also a pattern designer. So the Wildesmeer would be a great one to knit. She also has a free pattern that's how she knits her socks, so you definitely could use that. I think she has a sweater she designed and put out a couple years ago. So there's several things that you could choose from. So if you can't get your hands on Voolenvine yarn, then certainly those are fair game as well. And you can knit them in any yarn that you want. And also mini skein patterns count. So if you have a few minis of Voolenvine, then you're welcome to knit with those and use those as your entry for the cow. I have the chatter thread going. I haven't actually put the FO thread up, but I will do that. And I also need to put up the Potiversary giveaway thread. I'm sorry that I didn't get to doing that. I wanted to take a picture of the prize, and I didn't get around to taking a picture, so therefore I didn't start a thread. So what I'm going to do is I'll start it when I upload this. I'll go take a picture right when I get done recording. I will go and start a thread, and then I will leave it open for 2 weeks. And when 2 weeks is over, I will close the thread and draw for a winner. So I'll think of some kind of prompt. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I might just ask you guys if there's anything you'd like to see, or potentially what's your dream yarn to knit with, or something like that. So just be on the lookout for this. Sorry, I'm too chatty. And then I did draw for my 500 member giveaway. So the person who won that is I Stitch Fast, and I believe her name is Sandra, and she's in Canada. So I will touch base with you, and you can pick out any Ravelry pattern that's downloadable for $10 US or less, and I will gift that to you. So just let me know which one you would like. And I think I'm looking around, making sure I got everything, and I talked about everything, and I think I did. So as always, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate you all. Thank you for your patience, because I know that I have not been a weekly podcaster like I intend to be. But I am going to try to get on a more normal recording schedule, because I enjoy spending time with all of you and sharing things. And hopefully next time I will have a finished shawl to show you. Yay! So I am going to go down and have some dinner with the family and get started on my lace section. So until next time, thank you all for watching and have a great week. Bye-bye.